This episode is brought to you by Anivia Pickleball, your premier destination for high-quality pickleball paddles designed to elevate your game. At Anivia, they are committed to providing players across Canada with innovative, performance-driven pickleball paddles crafted for durability, precision, and ease of play. Irene and myself are currently using their Gen 3 Pro paddle, and if you head over to Anivia.com and enter the code AGorman15, you get 15% off your order. That's AGorman15 at Anivia.com. All right, on with the show. Hey everyone, Andrew here from the Pickleball Diaries podcast. Thanks so much for joining us on this episode. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit like and hit subscribe down below. If you're listening to this on Spotify or iTunes or any other podcasting network, make sure you give us a 5-star review at the end of the episode. It only takes a couple seconds of your time. It just really helps us out in the algorithm so we can keep bringing you this awesome content. All right, back to the episode. Thank you guys. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Pickleball Diaries. I'm, of course, Andrew Gorman, joined by Victor Chan. Vic, we got a lot of talk about leading into CNPL weekend, but let's start with Ben Johns threw a hissy fit. How's it going, and then what happened?
Hi guys. Well, I'm just back from San Antonio, so it's been a good week in San Antonio, and it was not short of any pickleball news, obviously. So let me get into it. So we just had finished one of the second tournament for the MLP event, which is the MLP Columbus. It has been played in an indoor facility called Pickle and Chill. This facility has been actually a very iconic facility because it hosted some previous MLP tournament in the finals. It is also a facility that has been on the tennis world has been already selected for the ATP and the WTA tournament. So it is a very legit facility. Reason why the MLP has to be played indoors is because during that week in Columbus, it was raining. So there's no choice of playing outdoors. They have to play indoors. So give you a little background with that little controversy with the Johns brothers. So what is going on is first match, the Carolina Hawks, which is the Ben Johns and Colin Johns team. They were playing first match. I don't remember what was their opponent, but they getting blowout. And you can really see, especially Ben Johns was not really trying, like basically very nonchalant playing. And you can also go on the Instagram. You can see one of the shot. The female throws a lob. So on their mixed pairing, the female throws a lob. Usually, the man or the person should back off, right? Because there's a lob, you're afraid for the smash. Ben Johns doesn't even didn't even like move. He was standing on that non-volley zone line, just nonchalantly block the overhead, and then not even trying to cover for his partner. So which is very interesting. And then this is the big part of the controversy. After that match, they pull out for all the remaining of the tournament, sitting that the lighting was not good enough. So, and they are saying Ben Johns had some eye injury before, so therefore it was not very suitable for him to play. Therefore, they're pulling out on all the matches. Okay, interesting comment. We'll talk about that. And then they basically took off from the tournament. They don't even stay for their team for the tournament. They're just gone completely, even though their teams still have to play out of multiple matches. On top of that, because now they have two person out, so there's a new rule from the MLP. If they don't have, they have to use other subs that's not on their roster, which is a roster of 6. They will have point penalty on every game they play, depending on how many subs they have to put in. In some, so one of their female was sick, so that was Kyla Christians, which was replaced by another female. Then also, I think it was injured, or she wasn't able to commit for the whole weekend, and it was known beforehand. So therefore, in some point, they have to find 3 emergency sub. Means every game they have to be down 3-0. So which is a big mess. So Andrew, what do you think?
I'm sorry, suck it up. You're being paid thousands, if not millions of dollars to play this sport. As someone who's played in as someone who's played in everywhere from a multiplex to like cracked concrete, to play pickleball, you bitching about the lighting, sorry, is BS. And the fact that you left and didn't, like, if it was an actual medical thing, stay and cheer on your team, right? But the fact that you just bailed and left your team high and dry, right? So what do they have? They literally had just 2 of their regular players and then 3 subs, or 1 of the regular player and 3 subs.
Well, I think they have 2. I think they have two. They're not regular player, but they're sub already. But at some point, one of that regular player also have to leave the tournament because she already had prior commitment for the beforehand during that weekend, because she was not expecting she needs to sub in during this tournament. So therefore, now they have only one person that's on their original 6 roster, so that's why they have to be down 3-0 for the remaining of their weekend.
Yeah, the more this keeps happening, this has been happening all year. Like with the change of the MLP rally scoring back to regular scoring due to Ben Johns bitching and moaning about it. This is now you're having this. You're basically your face of the sport, turning into a spoiled brat. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you're supposed to be the best player in the world. Everyone else is playing in these conditions. Suck it up. If it's an eye thing, something with lights, there's lenses for that, which means you knew you were playing indoors and you knew what the lighting was like ahead of time. Wear stuff accordingly. Like, if we want to have a really good example of that, year 1 of CNPL, Matthew Kawamoto coming back from being out for an entire year with a concussion, put on the second day after suffering from concussion-like symptoms again with the lighting, put on glasses to help with that, and then played the rest of the tournament. Right? I'm sorry, there is equipment available for you to use for that. And as someone myself whose eyes are very light sensitive, so for me, lighting does affect stuff. And I'm trying to train my eyes now because of course I wear kitchen blockers. I'm trying to train myself to see if I can wear those outdoors as well instead of wearing sunglasses. Then I avoid the fog up issue, right? But because my eyes are light sensitive, if it's a bright day, I might have to switch back to sunglasses just for that reason alone. But I'm sorry. Basically quitting on your team and then bailing on your team, and they're like, oh, and the fact that you were so okay with forfeiting the amount of money you were going to get paid for that tells me that you don't care anymore.
Yeah. So like, I think
like
I think for the
or something stupid like
that. For the audience to understand. So at the end, MLP was saying, okay, we're gonna look at this and gonna punish accordingly, and their punishment is just Ben Johns forfeiting the money for the weekend, and which is like. Actually, I think it's 400,000, something like that. And Colin Johns was 200,000, something like that. I can double check.
About losing that much money. Whereas for you and me, that would be a massive shot if we lost that off of one of our paychecks.
Yeah.
But that tells me he doesn't care anymore. He's just like, nope, I've made my money. I don't care if it's my way or the highway type of crap.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to be this continually growing thing. He's getting whinier and whinier and whinier to the point where he's gonna start turning himself into basically the villain. He's gonna become like the LeBron James of pickleball, where everyone, like, even though he's one of the best players to ever play, everyone hates his guts because he whines so much.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's not a good look for the sport when the sport is trying to break into more mainstream. Right? Like, as much as we hate to admit, pickleball is still what would be considered a niche sport.
Yep.
Right? And when you're supposed a face of the game is basically taking his ball and going home because something's not going the way he wants it to, or pitching a fit when a format doesn't fit his liking, it's not good for the game. It's no different than how we still complain about they're either not being line judges or they're not being the equivalent of like the eagle eye or whatever.
Sorry, I got the money. So Ben Johns got forfeited 60,000. I went too big. 60,000, and Colin John 18,000 for the withdrawal.
Yeah, so still 60. So yeah, so like if you and me, if we lost $60,000 off a paycheck, that would be a massive hit. That's more than my paycheck anyway. So,
but, yeah, that's a lot,
right? But that's what I mean. Like, it's $60,000, and he's just like meh. Right? And it's just like, so it's frustrating because you're supposed to be the face of the sport. You and Annalie Waters are supposed to be the face of the sport. Like, Annalie, yes, there's been some issues with stuff, but at least she's still, like, you can never say that she's not trying. Yeah, and exactly. She's not going all out to win every single match she's in. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. If from everything I've seen from her, you wouldn't be able to accuse her of that.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? Whereas this has been multiple times now where something doesn't go Ben's way, and he's just like me, and wants to go home. And how old is he?
I think he's 25 or 26.
Yeah, so he's a 25-year-old, and the 18-year-old phenom is acting more mature than him.
I think the most
the hell up, dude. That's what the money's for.
The most important part is tanking, right? Just tanking consistently in MLP, right? Like, you don't see he tanking on PPA, but like on MLP, like, yes, okay, you don't get your partner. Well, that's not something you can control. This is your team's problem, right? His team, the Carolina Hawks. Where's their owner? Where's the coach? Where's the team captain? There's nothing going on their team, and that's a very massive problem, right? They're not even trying to invest into their team to convince Ben John or at least keep Ben John motivated to play on the MLP format, because like in the first inaugural year, which he was on the BLQ team, they drafted pretty good players, like they to play with him, and they won. And you can see Ben John was committed to play in that team format. And even the not the second year, I think it's third or the fourth year, when the PPA now have merged with the MLP, when they Ben John play with the Seattle Pioneers, when he teamed up with Tyler Loon and at a Tuangulova now, because he used to be at a right. Like he was there very committed to play. You don't see him tanking as much, but as soon as right now, since the new management they had, I feel like he started really tanking and just getting disinterested to play. So
that's what they're paying him money for. If he doesn't want to play, then don't be in the draft.
So that's what I want to say. As a big fan of Ben Johns, and even I will say I was one of the big defender of Ben Johns. It was not a very good looking for the fans and for just the rest of the pickleball world, because you have the #1 man OG male player tanking like that on multiple MLP event. Like you should have like if the owner or they don't have coach to support them or do anything, like be the leader and just I'll take over that. I'll be the one taking care of the draft. I'll be the one that's gonna work with those other players. Like you look at Anna Bright, right? Anna Bright was able to find Rachel Rothbacher that no one knew before now she becomes a very, very strong player. No one knew about Rachel Rothbacher. Anna Bright found her help. Nowadays she find Kate Fahey, another nobody from the pickleball world. Right? She was a good tennis college player, but no one knew her potential. And right away, like be that leader on the team. Find those good player, get them drafted, and or like at least play with them and grow with them, right? So that therefore those players will be looking up to you continuously. But right now he's just constantly just tanking, saying I don't want to play. I don't have my pairing that I want. I don't want to play anymore. And trying to say to his eye or the lighting was BS. Like, do you see like the St. Louis Shock went 8-0 on the weekend? Did they complain? Like their team has
I can see
obviously
there was multiple players complaining, but no one else was complaining about the
lighting. No one else complaining. Like St. Louis Shock has Gabe Tardio, which is Ben Johns male's partner on the PPA. You have Hayden Patrick, which is a trash talker. So if something's going wrong, he will say out loud. Anna Bright was there, so same thing. If something happening, she will complain quickly. And Kate Fahey. So none of them has talked about it. Like basically, no other players except those two was complaining about the lighting. And this is not a unlegit facility. That's why I was saying in the intro, it was a approved ATP tennis event. WTA for the women's tennis event is approved, and on the previous MLP tournaments, they have been playing in that facility. So this is not a new facility. There is almost like no excuse for the Johns brothers to actually use to say, oh, this is a safety issue. And the other thing that I heard from other podcasts, like if it's a safety issue, well, someone throws a lob, you should back off and not stay on the non-volley zone line, right?
Yeah, exactly, right. No, it's
there's like this is like basic instinct. You should just back off. If you're so scared of the ball, just back off. No, you stay on the non-volley zone line, nonchalantly trying to block the ball. What's going on? And on top of that, on the other side, I'm talking about Colin. Colin is already wearing safety glasses. So what's the problem? Why you can't play? If Ben withdraw, you don't need to withdraw. You can still play. You have safety glasses, right? But you can definitely play rest of the event. And for them, like you said, leave just basically left your team and left your team suffer the rest of the way. That was a very bad look. Like at least you're saying you're okay. It's a safety issue. Well, stay on this sideline and help your team. Like there's no coach on their team anyway. Like I'm sure everyone will listen to you. Like if you stay on the team, you are the best player on the in the world. And also Colin is also teaching a lot of other pro player anyway. So if you stay on the sideline, for sure. Like at least I will say at least it will look better than what it is currently, because because
like I said,
right now it's just like it's a total bailout.
Rage quit, right? Mm-hmm. So, and the fact that Colin went with him, I guarantee you that was to try and save Ben's face. It's like, well, if both of us leave, then it will be maybe more of a believable story. Because if Ben just leaves, it's just like, well, look at the spoiled brat again, right? But he's literally acting like everyone should be catering to him, and this is like not the first time this has happened. Now it's becoming a recurring theme with Ben Johns. Like every time I see it, every time I see something, it's, oh, Ben doesn't like this, so now we have to change it. Oh, Ben doesn't like that, so now we have to change it. And I'm just like, okay, how much are you going to cater to this guy? He doesn't even win consistently anymore. Like he's falling off, and he's using every excuse in the book now to try and hang on to that number one spot. It's like, you know what? How about you just shut up and play the game and win?
Well, I would say he still has the edge, to be honest with you. Like the men's double now having Gabe Tardio, he's now getting back to the edge of winning more consistently. Singles a different story. He hasn't been playing much singles anymore, so I cannot comment to that. And mixed double, they just lost one or two this year. So I'm not
the best player in the world in mixed. So I don't give him props for that.
Well, yes and no, because other player has been changing too, and some of their losses is also because the condition is being much different than ideal condition, and kind of you can kind of give a little excuse of those ones. I'm trying.
You were trying so hard to give him. For those of you who aren't watching the video, Victor can see the scowl I'm giving him when he was trying. So Vic's laughing at me. But whenever you say conditions, everybody is playing in those conditions. If you're the best player in the world, you should still be better in whatever conditions they are than the next player. That'd be like me. That, for example, that would be like me. Say me and Irene are playing in a 4-5 event, and we lose to a team in the finals that we normally blow out on a regular basis. And then me complaining, oh, it was windy that day. Well, it was windy for the other team too. You didn't make your adjustments in time.
Yeah.
That's for me, anytime someone says it's the conditions that cause it, no, sorry, everyone played in those conditions.
Yeah, so I did agree, but at the same time, if you want to be at your peak performance, the condition matters. If the condition was ideal, for sure they like Ben Johns Annalee or Ben Johns and Gabe Tardio would be the best in order to be there this condition. But anyway, let's not go back to this subject anyway. Still, like it is a very bad look to the sport. I like everyone was saying, they should have fined him, at least like find him a different way, or take some point penalty from their PPA, because since you take point penalty on the MLP, they don't care anyway. Take some point off from the PPA event, so he's not gonna re-offend again, because otherwise people was just right now currently everyone is saying
you can't for an offense in the MLP you can't then punish them in the PPA. It's too different.
It doesn't. It doesn't matter.
Even though they're owned by the same thing, they're two different entities still.
Kind of, but still is reoccurring. It's not like this is the first time. This is like third or fourth time already. If you really want to keep your sport to be relevant, you need to do some sort of fine in order like some sort of like real punishment in order to dissuade them from reoffending again.
Suspend them from the league.
They will. They want to be suspended right now. That's what they want. They want to be suspended from the MLP.
I would do that and suspend them and be like, yeah, you don't get paid for any of this crap. Make him lose his whatever sponsorship he gets with MLP. Make him lose it.
He doesn't care. That's a problem. That's
no, I know, but
current problem.
You have to like do it that way and just be like, okay, he is banned or ban. I don't know if it gets to the point where it's like, okay, ban him from it. He's not like, to be honest, I don't watch a lot of. I don't watch MLP ever since it switched to the side out scoring, because for me now it's not the same thing. It's been boring for me. But like I still watch PPA, but I find that Ben Johns for me isn't the draw anymore. Now you and me are pickleball heads, so like we're not the audience they're trying to pull in, like we're already there. But for me, it's like Annalie, it's some of these up and coming young players like a Kwang Dong or something like that who are entertaining.
Yeah.
And someone throwing a hissy fit isn't entertaining. Like unless he's planning to be like pull a WWE stint and be like the heel or the villain of the pro pickleball scene, but he doesn't trash talk enough for that. So
no, that's Hayden Patriquin or who else, like Christian Alshon. Those are the bad guys.
Alshon's probably the biggest villain in the league. Hayden is more so like he trash talks, but it's more of like you respect how he trash talks because he gets in people's heads better, whereas Alshon whines to the point that the refs are getting annoyed with him type of deal.
Yeah, or who else is pretty bad too? Jordan Arnold, Matt Wright, those are pretty bad too.
Yeah, right. So, but yeah, either way, like it's getting frustrating to watch. I'm like, hey, how about we start promoting somebody else now if he's gonna keep pulling this crap? Like, start promoting Zane or whatever, right? At least Zane's got his podcast. He's like out there, he's promoting the crap out of stuff. He seems to be really good interacting with the fans. He does his like fun, like, oh, here, see if you can return my chainsaw serve, even though it's illegal now and stuff like that. Like, he seems to be like he's someone who what you would deem marketable.
Yeah, it's just too bad, right? Because Zane just fall off after that chainsaw serve or spin serve got de-weaponized due to rule change, right? He was the uppercomer that was beating Ben Johns, or actually like equaling Ben Johns in terms of like innovation or skills, like at some point of time, and then suddenly because that got taking off, like you took away his big weapon. Like basically, like let's say you don't allow me to do forehand drives anymore. You take away my biggest weapon out of my tools, right? So that changed the big perspective of the game. And Zane being also older, is getting close to 30, right? So that's another problem why they can't really use him anymore to market. Because to be honest with you, like Ben Johns and Zane Naruto was like the main two player that interested me when I started play pickleball. That was the two OG I want to be, like I want to play like them. But
yeah,
obviously they have two different style of playing, and then they also went two different ways.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, we'll see how the rest of the year goes. But so far, I have not been impressed with Johns' behavior. But I guess,
I think their season is pretty over. If you look at their statistic of the Carolina Hawks, they're at the bottom of their league with 0 wins.
When your best player just shows up for the paycheck and doesn't play or doesn't try, that's what's going to happen.
And that's, I think that was wise from the PPA to change their the way they're playing the players now, because they used to be having appearance fees, but now they changed back to only prize money, right? So that's the reason why, and Ellie make the change right away to Anna Bright rather than continue to play with Catherine Parento, because with Anna Bright, she has technically a little bit better chance to win every tournaments. Not saying that trying to discredit Catherine, because Catherine is still a super strong player, but she's the older player too.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So as of today, so we're recording this on Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to all you mothers listening. Happy Mother's Day to our wives.
Yes.
But so we are officially 100 days from Nationals. Pickleball Canada just posted that on Instagram. So speaking of Nationals, Team Alberta has been announced for the territory province play that's going to be happening on the 21st, the third day of Nationals. So we have a 50 plus team, and then we have our, I guess you could say 10 to 49 team. So our mixed doubles team so we'll do 50 plus first. So our 50 plus team, we have Brenda Hallrook from the Yellowhead Club, Milt Nickel, and he's a virtual member of Pickleball Alberta, because we do have a virtual one if you don't live like in an area, or if you say don't join the local club or whatever, we do have the virtual clubs. Men's doubles, Norm Kolowalchuk from Cold Lake and Rich Powell from
Nice.
Okotoks.
Nice.
Women's doubles, Marianne Struckers from Cochrane and Veronique DeWild
Yep.
from
They will.
Airdrie.
They will. Yeah.
And then from Peace River, Chris Kennedy for singles. Chris turned 50 this year, so he just fits into this thing.
he just made
very
it.
good player.
Nice.
I play
The
with him all the
golden
time,
age.
so that's a good get for
The
Pickleball.
golden age of
Alberta.
pickleball.
Yeah. Women's singles, for women's singles, Sandy Poos from St. Albert, and then the alternates. So they picked 2 alternates in case, say, someone goes down with an injury or if, say, last minute something happens and someone can't make it. We have Kelly Ebby and Brian Harris.
Nice.
For our 49 and under team. Now, it was originally announced that Brad Chapman was on this team, but now apparently he can't commit. So he is no longer on the team. So they did. So I have the video running beside us here on the podcast. If you're watching the video, that video was made when the announcement happened. Since then, that has changed. So you will see different name. I'm going to announce different names than what you see in this little video running beside us here on the podcast. So our mixed doubles team is Jacob Blokowy. I can never say his last name right. Is that right? Blokowy. Sorry, Jacob. From St. Albert, and then Shea Cabell from Edmonton. So me and Irene play Jacob and Shea all the time. That's a very, very good mixed team. They should do very well. Men's doubles, Chris Elaine from Calgary, and then Connor Weeks from St. Albert. Also a very, very good men's team. They're normally they're finishing top 3 in pickleball in Alberta provincials, playing in the open division.
They play with each other all the time too.
Yeah, and they play with each other all the time. So you already have the built-in chemistry there. Women's doubles, Kim Layton from Calgary, and then Mikkel Hartman from Edmonton. Obviously, Kim being our best female player in Alberta, and then Mikkel also plays very, very well. She's played with Irene before. Mikkel's a very, very defensive player, so she should complement Kim very, very well in the women's. Men's singles, Keaton Kirchner. Is that how we say his name?
Yeah, that's close enough.
Yeah, and then women's singles, Anya Suran, Irene, one of Irene's regular partners. And then Irene is an alternate, and so is Chadwick Burnell. If those of you asking, Andrew, why didn't you put your name in? At the time, my rating wasn't high enough, so that's why I didn't put my name in, because I am obviously going to nationals with Irene. But it was you had to be a 4.0 or higher, and at the time they asked you to send in applications for this. Mine was 3.6. Because of that weird merger thing they did where they just ignored your mixed rating and just took your genders. And then, of course, we all know, if you listen to the podcast a long time, how I got screwed over at nationals 2 years ago with that one guy not showing up.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
So Brad Chapman was named, but couldn't commit. So that's why they switched, because originally it was going to be Brad and Chris in the men's. Connor was going to do singles. And then Jacob was still going to do doubles, but then Keaton was going to be the alternate. And so they moved Keaton up, and then they Chadwick got moved up from not being picked to becoming an alternate. So that's our team, Alberta. I don't know if they're going to broadcast this at nationals or not, but I will be there. We'll be cheering on Chris for sure from our club, and then if Irene so happens to get in, if something happens, I'll be cheering her on as well. So super excited for that. Like we said, 100 days to go till nationals starts. Like we said, like we've been very, very opinionated, I guess is the nice thing to say.
Critical.
Yeah, very critical about Pickleball Canada right now. But I do love this idea where the provinces and the territories have their teams, and you do like a big team event style with it. Like, this is one of the decisions I really agree with. I'm still not sold on like their thing with the CTPR, because I literally I sent my thing in, they bumped me up to 4 or 5. And the stuff that they're asking for that, like, it's not like a lot of information you had to provide them. So someone could just be like starting out and just say, hey, I'm a 4 or 5 and I want it. And then they'll just bump them to it. So I'm not super sold on the I'm still not sold on the CPTR. Everyone should just switch to Duper at this point. Is still my stance on that. But like I said, I do like this thing with Pickleball Canada with the teams thing. I'm hoping that the facility is going to be good. Obviously, when we go there, me and Irene go there in August, I'll be able to shoot some videos and be able to give everyone a better recap of how it's actually gonna.
They just updated my CTPR. My CTPR used to be 3.8, so I was technically able to play 3.5, but now they just updated to 4.5.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Well, and here's the funny thing. So I had already registered for nationals before I sent in that CTPR thing. So me being 3.6, I was playing in a 4.0 category.
That's okay.
They've bumped me up to 4.5, but I'm still in that category, and it says 4.5 by my name. So it's interesting that I haven't got a message from the tournament director or anything like that. Like I said, I can say, hey, I was 3.6 when I signed up. So I don't like we said, that's tournament director stuff that they can worry about. I don't really care because looking at all the teams in the 4.0 and the 4.5, especially when we're talking about the double elimination brackets, they're all very, very similar and even.
True.
So you're gonna get pretty good matches either way.
Yeah, I'll see. I just register in one of the tournaments, so if they change it up for me, whatever. I'll take a look later. Because I register in 4.0 because in men's 4.0 because of it anyway.
Oh, nice. All right, so Vic, there is a lot of stuff happening with paddles and paddle companies. So let's jump right into an equipment corner. What is going on with Joola?
Holy crap! So basically, no. So it's not Joola suing USAP. It's now USAP suing Joola. so that's like the whole debacle. So quick introduction to this thing. So Joola original sue USAP because they delisted their Gen 3 paddle and then caused them a lot of financial loss and everything. And they're saying, oh, it was just a clerical error. They just sent a paddle that was just a little slightly different from what they had sent to for approval. Anyway, all those things. And then now USAP is counter suing Joola because now USAP say they have concrete evidence that Joola trying to play the system. So if you go on in Instagram, they actually have some picture. USAP actually has some picture showing that the paddle they sent to Joola sent to USAP versus the paddle that was released, which is the Gen 3 Joola's paddle. They have the foam that's around the ring of the paddle is significantly thicker on the Gen 3 they sold versus the one they sent for approval. However, that photo was not for me it was not a good evidence because the paddle when they showed the difference of foam on that paddle, the cut was done in a different area of the paddle. So, for example, I'll pick up a paddle if you're looking on the video. So, if every paddle is cut at the same spot, right? If you cut it on this face, right, that you will have significant more foam into that paddle versus other area. Some of the cut was done like around the throw. And the throw area most of the time has less foam because that's not the area you want to increase the sweet spot. You don't really want to hit that area in anyway. And just by the construction of the paddle, the foam is usually thicker on the upper side versus when it's all the way down here, right? Obviously, this is not the right paddle to show. This is a paddle pack paddle, which you don't have a foam on there. But you just to illustrate a little bit the kind of like a little bit of weirdness when they show that photos, because I was like, well, you're not showing any more proof, right? That's saying that Joola really tried to play out the system. If you're trying to show that cut, but anyway. That's in the hands of the lawyers. I think they're still debating. They're debating on it. We have the feeling, as like all other paddle reviewer or other paddle podcaster, it's gonna be settled like before it goes to court anyway. That like either Joola's gonna give some money or USAP try to give some money. I think that's the end of it, because right now you have to think, because of all that Joola debacle, that UPAA was foam because of it.
Yeah.
And now, right now, the UPA is the direct competition against the USAP.
Yeah, I'm still annoyed with, with the fact that they got two systems now. That's nuts.
It is what it is. And like, eh, can I say it's the Joola's fault? Yes. Can I say it's a USAP fault also? Yes. Both of them, I would say both of them were at fault. I'm not trying to be picking one side of the other. Both of them was at fault. Like USAP, if you're not sure that paddle was a spec, why did you approve it? And then after that they approved the mod. Why? Just to list the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Speaking of delisting, Vic, one of your favorite paddles is getting put out to pasture by the sounds of it.
Yeah, I'm so mad. Anyway, it's what I mean, it's not mad. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. I just didn't know that it's gonna happen that quick. So, breaking news: the Rhombus Ripple, the original Ripple paddle, will be sunsetting on July 1st. However, the Rhombus Ripple V2, so version 2, is now approved by the USAP. So it was announced as a joint statement from the USAP and from Rhombus. They now have a new paddle. According to Rhombus, they pass all the PB core tests. They even went a little bit further. They did we call a destructive testing. What is a destructive testing? Basically, they have a they actually have the paddle. They have it hit like 100 to 1,000 times at 100 miles per hour, according to them, and then they're able to prove that paddle is not getting hotter or too hot to at a certain level. For people that doesn't understand why you do that, it's because those Gen 3 paddle, because the foam, as you're hitting more and more with this paddle, the foam will get looser and looser. And the looser it gets, it will create that bigger trampoline effect. So some of the paddles that we like the Joola mod TA15, that was notoriously, when it breaks in really badly, it just become a rocket ship paddle, right? So the Rhombus now say now, because they have did a more reinforced 3D mesh into the core of the paddle, it won't happen anymore. So this V2 is going to be launching very soon at the end of May. Some of the paddle reviewers already have hands on of this paddle and stating is pretty close to what their original Ripple power is, but slightly tuned down. So more to follow. I will get my hands also onto the paddle, and then I will actually give you a further review of this paddle.
Oh man!
And then let's continue. Right. Let's continue on. Anything you want to add before I jump to my next segment of paddles?
No, I'm good. I'm still testing out the new Anivia Fusion, the KC Fusion paddle. It's crap ton of power on it. It's definitely more of a power paddle in comparison to my more control paddle with the Gen 3. It's taking me a long time to get used to it. I don't know if I'll end up, like, if I'm going to use it, say at the next MiLP thing, it would probably be only to play singles in. Just because for when I'm in for my resets, I'm finding I'm having a harder time controlling my resets. And just because I'm not used to the pop. I've been playing with the control paddle for the last, like, ever since I've been playing pickleball. So for me to go from a full control to now
transition to a power, it takes time.
It's a big adjustment. Irene really likes hers for singles as well. Now, because they only have it in midweight and not lightweight like they have with the Gen 3, she's going to do the same thing when she plays singles. She's using it for that, but then using her Gen 3 for mix just because she wants to keep her hand speed up. So,
gotcha. All right.
So far, other than that, like I said, just because the type of player I am, it's I'm having trouble getting used to it. But it's got a crap ton of power, and like when I do drive with it, man, does it fly, and it's awesome.
That's nice. I need to try next week, maybe.
Yeah, I'll bring one down next week for you to try.
Nice. So, well, like everyone heard before at the beginning of the podcast, I just came back from San Antonio. So, me going to US is I always bring back some stuff, right? Obviously. So, what did I bring back this time? that if you're looking at the videos, those are the Adidas Metabone. I did not play with the red one, which has the bolts on there. I did play with the blue ones. So basically, I have no idea why this paddle got approved. Basically, so this paddle is basically almost like a carbon copy of my Rhombus Ripple in terms of power. So I was like, oh my god, like this like for me it was easy to use because I was already getting used to the Rhombus Ripple terms of power. I was like, and then I was like, why this one get and now get well, it didn't get approved from the USAP, obviously. It get approved only from the UPAA, which is the pro games. So I was like, what is going on? Like the pro games supposed to be have better regulation, they said on power paddle, but this got approved. No idea why that could happen. But anyway, I'll be playing on only the MiLP with that one. It's gonna be kind of interesting anyway. But more to follow. I will do a little bit further testing in order to give you guys a better review on this paddle. Okay, what else I got? This one, the Franklin C45. Haven't played it yet, but if already I can feel this paddle could be one of my main because it's very lightweight, so I can really customize as much as I can. This paddle is currently used by Georgia Johnson or Paris Todd. This is their main paddle. They will have a new other shape than the hybrid shape soon. At the end of May, they have an elongated shape and also a wide body shape that will be coming in with this paddle. And also the swing weight on those paddle is ridiculously low, which is perfect if you're someone that you want to customize with this paddle. So more to follow also on that. Couple more paddle. The Selkirk 008, but the 10 millimeter version. So you look at it, this is like paper thin. You're like, what the heck is this? Haven't played yet. Neither. More to follow. Apparently, this is the poppiest paddle that's on the Selkirk Rama paddle. Except the new Selkirk Evo era that will be launching maybe later. That's another paddle that Selkirk is trying to release in the long run. But this paddle, I have played with the 60 millimeter version, which Anya has. It's a very, very spinny paddle. Feels it used to feel, I say, like a Lux with more power. So the Selkirk Lux, which is a very controlled paddle with a little bit more power. So the 10 millimeter version technically is the poppiest of the all. So I'm curious to see how much power I can get with this paddle. One last paddle to talk to is the Vatic Pro Saga 14 millimeter version. So I did play a little bit quickly with this paddle. It's a little bit more popular than the 16 millimeter. So I will say if you have tried the 16 millimeter and you just feel like lacking too much power, the 14 millimeter is probably a good one you want to pick up. And they have all kind of shape. They have the elongated shape, which is the V7. They have the bloom, which is the Y body, and they also have I have the long handle version because I like my two-handed backhand. They have also a short handle version. So if you want to pick that cheap paddle in a Gen 3 RAM with a good performance, that will be a good one to pick it up. And I think that's all. I do have one more paddle, which is the Paddle Tech. I didn't pick it up. This is just a quick shout out to Paddle Tech. So what happened is that paddle, my edge guard was starting to breaking off, and I just sent a picture and message Paddle Tech saying, "Oh, can you repair the paddle for me because I don't like the most of the things fine. It's just the edge guards breaking off, and they say, no problem. No, we'll just send you a new one. So they basically just send me a new Paddletech TKO CX. So just a great shout out to Paddletech for their customer service. The only thing is because they're making USA is tough for us right right now during the tariff problem. Like they being get slapped to that additional 25% on the tariff when you buy it from them and then ship it to Canada. But other than that, I always have a good customer service from Paddletech, and they always make very good quality paddle. And this paddle, the TKO series, they are all we can almost say they're unbreakable because they're using we call a Gen 1 construction. So they're therefore, which is the older generation, which still hit very hard, but they don't break as easy as like all the other Gen 3 paddles.
Nice. All right, so moving on, we have a quick minor league pickleball Canada update. So back on April 26th, of course, High Sports in Vaughan put on their MiLP event. They only had Duper 16 and 18. However, there was like 16 teams in each division. So we're going to give a quick shout out. So Duper 16 winner, the Dink Monster. That team won the Duper 16, and then Duper 18, Middies Biddies, which is a great name. Won the Duper 18. Next up for MiLP, we're back in Burnaby for at the IPOP facility on June 7th and 8th. So for those of you wondering, that is the same time as the Eastern split of the CNPL. But seeing how they're all connected, we'll go right into CNPL news. So officially from Commissioner Mike himself, so the Eastern and Western splits are only going to feature 4 teams. So they're basically we're dividing into conferences, okay? So the West teams are the Prairie Pronghorns, the Vancouver Rush, Detroit Windsor Drive, and the Northern Lights. So those are your West teams. So they will be playing in the Western split, which will be in Burnaby on
later.
August. Sorry, it was originally listed for August 9th and 10th, but it has now been moved to July 19th and 20th.
Gotcha.
And then, of course, the Eastern split. The Eastern teams are Toronto United, the London Smash, the Brewers, and the Lions. And of course, they're going to be on the June. Their split is going to be on the June 7th and 8th weekend. Gotcha. So for those ones, those obviously because there's only 4 teams playing, so you're going to see the West and East teams play each other a lot more. And then the Central split, which is this coming Victoria Day weekend, and then the Metro split will feature all 8 teams playing each other.
Nice.
Another big bit of news. So the Vancouver Rush are actually joining a celebrity charity challenge in Richmond, and that's going to be on June 7th as well. They're going to be in there with alumni from the Vancouver Canucks, the BC Lions, the Whitecaps, which is the professional soccer team there, and a bunch of alumni. And this will be all for charity. So it'll be proceeds will be going towards the various charities from all these teams support. And other big news from that, former pros from the CNPL will be playing that. We've already seen announced that Nathan Choi is going to be playing in that. Casey Rogers is going to be playing that. Of course, they're not playing in the CNPL this year, but shout out to them for still coming in and providing their services and their time for awesome charities like that. And a big shout out to the Vancouver Rush for jumping in on that as well. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's good. Definitely good for them.
Yeah. And of course, as we were saying before, the Central Split is upon us. It is next weekend. It'll be in London at the London Smash facility. And so me and Vic are going to be on the broadcast, which is awesome. So we're going to be early in the, well, for those of you on the West Coast or the Western side of Canada, it's going to be early in the morning. We got the first games. We don't know which games we're doing yet though, but I can tell you right now on the 17th, the first 2 games of the day are the Lions versus the Rush and the Smash versus the Northern Lights. So we're going to be on the broadcast for one of those games, and I'm assuming the other game is going to be on the secondary YouTube channel. So make sure you turn into the CNPL YouTube channel. We'll be doing the first and second game. We're getting a game break, and the Team 2 will be coming in. I'm not sure who's on the broadcast for Team 2, but I'm sure we'll find out. and we'll give them a shout out when that happens. And then we'll be doing the 1 p.m. Eastern game, but 11 o'clock our time, and it'll either be the Brewers versus the Rush or the Lions versus the Detroit Windsor Drive.
Nice.
That'll be us on Saturday. We have the same kind of schedule on the Sunday. We of course told Mike we were available for more if need be, with the exception of Saturday, of course, because we are also celebrating Vic and his wife's baby shower because they are having a baby. So yay!
Yep. Yay! It'll be fun.
So yeah, so super excited for that. Make sure you get onto YouTube and subscribe to the CNPL YouTube channel. I will also be attempting to follow along in the chat while we're on the broadcast. So if you want to want me to give you guys a shout out, post it in there when we're on the broadcast. And I'm going to try and keep up with that. Of course, I'm going to be focused on the play more so, but anytime there's a break, I'll quickly look at my phone and keep an eye on the chat, and so we can get some engagement going with that. But we're super excited for that for sure.
Yeah, and you will be hosting at my house, so
yeah, me and Vic will actually be in the same room. Now, I don't know if our video is going to be on the broadcast now, or if it's just going to be our voices, because of course we're doing it remotely. Unfortunately, we're not flying out to London, as fun as that would be. We're keeping our fingers crossed. We're trying to will it into existence that Yui and Mike fly us out for championship weekend, because we don't know where that is yet, but we're throwing that out into the universe, trying to make that happen.
Awesome. So one more thing I think you just forgot. There is one more MIPL in before the Burnaby. So it'll be the mega court one in Calgary, happening in 2 weeks, which Andrew and Erin will be playing. Unfortunately,
I forgot about it.
Yeah, you forgot about it. So I need to say about it. So they still have a lot of spot in all the categories. So please, if you're interested, obviously put your team together, and you'll be also be seeing the new mega courts in Calgary. It is their kind of their pinnacle event, their court opening event. So please. If you can put up a team over there. They still have quite some space in all the categories. I won't be playing, unfortunately, but you will be seeing me reffing on those matches though.
Yeah, because I think looking at it right now, I'm just going to refresh it really quick here because I have it on my phone.
I think they cap it at 16 per category instead of 8.
Yeah, so for Duper 20, we're at 4. And, oh crap, we got there's a team of Kim Lane, Nad, Shanko, and Chris Allane, and then Ken Lee. Oh boy, that's gonna be fun. Then in Duper 18, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 in that as well. Duper 16, there's only 3 right now. 14 just has the 1, and Duper 12 just has the 3 at the moment. So I wouldn't be surprised if they combine maybe the Duper 12 and Duper 14, and maybe they'll put the Duper 16 and Duper 18s together if they don't get more teams. But hey, sign up, go check out the new courts. We'll be able to do like a full review of the facility once we're there. Because Vic's going to be there anyways. He's going to be reffing. He just he's got too much on his plate now, so he picked reffing over playing with us. So
yeah, unfortunately, well, there's not a lot of referee also over there, so they really was tight in referee, so they asked me if I can actually commit to go, and obviously it's just a 1-day event. I don't if I ref, I don't want to play, right? Because you're just my brain is not gonna be working correctly.
Yeah, exactly. And to be honest, if it came down to playing or not having any refs, I'd rather have refs, to be honest. So, because it's always better when there's a referee match. I've been that way with any sport I play. I always prefer there actually being an official on the field.
Yeah, definitely keep people in check sometimes.
Exactly. Lots of foot faults, Vic, just not against me. All right, so I don't have a blind ranking for you today, Vic, so I think we'll just sign off there. You guys will be hearing from us next week anyways when we do the full recap of the CNPL Central Split, which we're super excited about. Once again, tune into the broadcast. So if you're watching Eastern time, the first game is... I literally just said it a couple minutes ago. First game is 10 a.m. Eastern, so if you're in Alberta, that's 8 a.m. If you're in BC, that's 7 a.m. Okay, that's the first game starts on May 17th, and it goes all the way till 5:30 p.m. Eastern. So you're done by 3:30, or last game is 3:30 in Alberta time. So the nice thing is Saturday you still have all the time in the world to watch hockey games after that, because of course it's playoffs right now. Go Leafs, go!
Yeah, yeah. My team's gone. It's so
Your
bad.
team's-
So sorry. I'm not Oilers fan, but I don't hate the Oilers neither, so it's fine.
I don't hate the Oilers either. Like I'm a Leafs fan, but I do go. The only Canadian team I don't like is Ottawa, because I grew up during the Matt Sundin versus Daniel Alfredson era of hockey. So
Gotcha.
So I like the Oilers. I like the Flames. I like the Jets. All that stuff. I'm hoping for a Leafs versus either Oilers or Jets in the finals. Let's bring that cup back to Canada where it belongs.
Yep.
All right, so that's everything for this week, guys. We will see you guys next week with the full recap of the CNPL Central Split. Until then, we'll see you guys later. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe.
Thank you, everyone. We'll see you soon.